Back here with our special coverage on the Wisconsin Live Desk, Judge on trial. We can say the lunch break is over. The jury and everyone is back in the courtroom at the federal courthouse in downtown Milwaukee with another witness from the government. What we believe is the first of the final four they will call here on this day. That is Brittany Ewing, who now has a different job but worked as a victim's advocate, a witness advocate at the Milwaukee County Courthouse on the events of April 18th. We have our Jason Calvi standing by. And Jason, since there's been so much discussion of Chief Judge Carl Ashley's testimony on the witness stand here this morning, and Brian, I know you wanted to kind of move things forward. These were all the events last spring. Now, 8 months later, kind of where we stand.
Well, there's so much focus on this draft policy that was sort of in place at the time, that they might have been relying on, that they sort of have clarified and updated since then. That was back in April, and you talked to Carl Ashley back then, who said, yeah, we're going to get this thing out as soon as possible. You had a recent interaction with him as well. All these months later, how did that go, and what did you find out about the status of this policy on dealing with ICE in the courthouse?
Well, if you're looking for some answers to what that policy is going to look like, we've got some indication in the testimony today, but that is still a draft. We're talking about more than 7 months after all those situations happened in this hallway here at the Milwaukee County Courthouse. And Chief Judge Carl Ashley, his office is at the end of this hallway here. I went in and talked with him last week and asked him, hey, it's been 7 months. How is that draft looking? And he said, it's still a draft. It's not done. And I said, well, when can we look to see this final draft? It's been in the works for a while now. He said a couple weeks. I said, okay, so after the trial, and his body language kind of lit up. He didn't say yes or no, but it to me indicated that he meant, yeah, after the trial.
I guess we're speculating to wonder why that would be the case, other than just the fact maybe he wanted to see how the case goes before determining how he's going to finish with this, or was it because he didn't want, pesky reporters like us filing open records requests for the policy? I don't know. I mean, do we have any idea why it's not final after all these months?
That might be a question when Julius Kim's going to be coming on, I believe, in about 7 minutes. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that would be a great question. I would like to ask Julius Kim is, hey, it's been 7 months. He's telling our Jason Calvi that it's going to be a couple more weeks, likely after the trial, until we get this thing. Why do you think he's waiting until after the trial to release this thing? I think that would be an insightful answer. I think he would probably give us some good information, some intel, some insights into why it's been 7 months. But I can't answer that question because he's pretty mum. I mean, we've had several interactions in the hallway here. At the end of last week, he had a really bad sore throat. I mean, he could barely talk. He was whispering. I said, well, you better get some rest because you got a big week this week. And as he testified today, his voice sounded like it was back to normal as he testified in federal court, as we just heard from Ted, all the different issues that were brought up in his testimony today.
Maybe he borrowed a couple of Ricola from Ted, who apparently had some to spare.
It was great. Ted's bored with the sorry pieces and the whole thing, and then the Ricola. It was like a football team back in the day going, all right, I want you to go left and run this way around the car. Yeah. Anyway, Jason, I want to ask you, because I don't know which way you're facing right now. Is that Judge Ashley's courtroom down on the end behind you, or his office behind you?
Yeah, so I could just show you lay of the land here, where we are right now. The Chief Judge's office is all the way, the double doors down there, that is where Chief Judge Carl Ashley's office is. It's past the double doors, then there's a glass door, you'd have to go through that, then there's a reception area, you'd have to go to there if you were gonna meet with the Chief Judge, like in the instance what we heard from the ICE agents and federal agents who testified, going down and talking to the Chief Judge over the phone because he wasn't in the courtroom, wasn't in the courthouse that morning, so he was actually on speakerphone when he was talking to these ICE agents, kind of talking about this draft policy, the federal agents. He told them, yeah, we're coming up with a policy again. This had followed 2 courthouse arrests here at the Milwaukee County Courthouse, one in March, then another one in early April, and then this situation in this courthouse was April 18th. And so at that point in time, when the federal agents interacted with Chief Judge Carl Ashley, he told them that he was working on a draft policy for where ICE can safely make arrests inside of this courthouse.